Today I'm going to show you the 10 things which you need to know about spending Christmas in Prague. Being here in the month of December is truly an unforgettable experience. You have some festive atmosphere with the lights being up, you have some Christmas markets which are open, and you can smell the mulled wine in the air. But if you don't plan ahead, you could easily miss out on some of these festive activities, or you may find some of the best attractions and restaurants closed. So here's everything which you need to know. Christmas season starts from 20th of November to the 6th of January. So it is quite a long period and it is packed. That means that if you're planning a visit, make sure you book your accommodation early. You have people coming from all over Czech Republic, also from the neighboring countries, all wanting to come and spend Christmas in Prague. So to set your expectations right, you need to know that Prague is going to be incredibly busy. It's going to be very difficult to walk. So if you don't like people, you do need to reconsider your visit because there's going to be thousands, hundreds of thousands of people here. Right now, I think there's around 5 or 6 markets which you're going to find in Prague. So you have ones which are more on the outskirts, which the locals tend to go to. For example, you have one which is in the area called JZP or Yuri's Bodeprad. It's such a difficult name to pronounce in Czech. Call it JZP. So this one, and then you have one called Namesti Miru. These are very popular with locals. They're close to each other in the district of Vinohrady. As you go closer to the city center, you have one by the Namesti Republiky, where there's a big shopping mall which is called Palladium. This one is a mixture of locals and more tourists, so that does also look good. And then you have the bigger markets. For example, where I am right now, which is Wenceslas Square. There used to be a market which goes from where I'm standing right now, which is called Mustek, and it was going all the way to the National Museum on the other end. However, it's now on the bottom half because they've introduced some trams on the top half, which is not a great idea. It kind of ruins the vibe. But anyway, the one on Wenceslas Square, it does come with an ice rink. That means that you can book some ice skates and you can skate along, which is very nice. And they also have a lot of stalls with different kinds of food. And what I do like about here is that there's trees on both sides, which are turned on also during the Christmas. So it's a very good vibe. I really like it here. And then the largest of all the markets is the one which is on Old Town Square. So this one is very tourist heavy. Locals do come, especially when they are lighting up the Christmas tree. And there's a big stage on this one. There's also the thing which you can climb with the lights all around, like a pedestrian stage where you can go up and you can look around. And you're gonna find that there's music, there's a lot more stores there. However, the prices are also gonna be more expensive because there's a lot of traffic also going up and down. But that is a bigger one. There used to be markets on Prague Castle, but this one hasn't happened in the last couple of years. I think it's probably cancelled. I don't know if it's going to be reintroduced. We'll see this year once the time comes. Once you're in the markets, I have found that the food is kind of going down in value in the recent days. So what you're going to find is a lot of sausages, a lot of grilled chicken skewers, which are on a bread. And you also have some dumplings. There's a place which is selling some dumplings. You have some pancakes. So there's a lot of sweet things which you can enjoy. And the highlight of the show for me personally is the mulled wine, which is the hot red wine with sugar, which is very sweet, with some spices. So the mulled wine is also a very good one which you need to try. An important thing to know is when are these markets opening? You don't want to book your trip and find that the one which you're expecting to see is going to be closed. That'll be very disappointing. So what you need to know is in the smaller neighborhoods, which I mentioned before, these ones are opening around the 20th of November. And the biggest markets, the one on Old Town Square and Wenceslas Square, these are opening 4 weeks before Christmas Day. A very famous activity, especially for the locals as well, is the lighting up of the Christmas tree. Every year, a special tree is selected from the villages all over Czech Republic and is transported right to the square. Here it's installed, and if you want to be part of this special event of lighting up of the tree, then you need to know that it's the last Saturday of November on the Old Town Square. There's going to be a big program of music, carols, and it's going to be extremely busy, so you do need to be aware of that. And usually this is happening around 4 p.m. in the evening because it's a lot darker at that point, and the tree stays on until it's removed around the 5th or 6th of January. What you need to do when you're in Prague is you need to beat the crowds. especially on Christmas time. You're just not gonna believe how busy it gets here. When you go, for example, on the Charles Bridge, you cannot walk. You're gonna be like a sardine like this as people push through from one end to the other. It's very difficult to really have a relaxed time here. So the best tip which I have for you, come out early. That means that you need to go to the markets or whatever you want to check out before 4 p.m. in the evening, because after 4 p.m. that's when the locals are leaving work and everyone is trying to get a bit of some festive activities and mood before the day finishes. And another thing to know is that weekends are incredibly busy as well, and the Advent weekends are even worse. An important thing which you need to know is that Christmas in Czech Republic comes early. That means that Czech Republic celebrates Christmas on the 24th of December, and then 25th and 26th, there's also some celebrations. So what you can expect is that restaurants are going to be closed, attractions are also going to be mostly closed, especially on the 24th. Last year, I received many messages from some of you, our subscribers and followers, and the question was, where can we eat? Because everything was simply closed, and I had to help some by searching what's open and to give some tips. So it's important that you try to avoid being here on the 24th, 25th and 26th. You're better off spending your time back home. And if you do still decide to come, make sure you also buy some food, because you may end up cooking in your apartment on the 24th. When in Czech Republic, you need to try some Czech Christmas food. Forget the turkey, that's not popular here in Czech Republic, and you're gonna struggle to actually find some turkey all around. The traditional Czech Christmas dish is a cup, which is a mud fish, which is fried in butter, and it's served with potato salad, and you also get some rýžek, which is the fried chicken. So everything is mostly fried. My favorite, personally, is what's called a wine sausage. It's a round one, and it's made from pork, I think. It's really nice, and it's normally fried. So these are some of the things which you can try. If you do find a restaurant which is serving a Christmas menu, then you can check out if they're selling this, and it's definitely worth trying. A fun fact about the cup is that it's a mudfish. So normally people are bringing them to the center in front of some supermarket. They put it in a bucket, and usually Czech people come with a plastic bag, they buy it and they take it home. Once they get it home, they put it in a bathtub and they just run water over it for like 5 days until Christmas Day. I don't like carp, it tastes weird, so I'm not a fan of carp, but personally I love the wine sausage and the fried chicken. The 4 weeks of Advent are a big deal in Czech Republic. This is when some of the best Christmas things are happening. For example, the Parade of the Angels, which you see on the Old Town Square. And if you're on Charles Bridge, you see the guy who's lighting up the lamps using the big rod. And if you're on the Prague Castle, there's also some Christmas carols. On our channel, we have a video about the best things to do in winter. So check that video next.